Mostly sunny and turning milder on Friday. Good Thursday night, East Tennessee. David Aldrich, Captain Accurate here from the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, you can see from the Ultimate Doppler radar, things are quiet. Had a few extra high clouds come in today, but things are quiet on the Ultimate Doppler radar. Presented by Madlock Tire Service and Auto Repair, East Tennessee's #1 tire shop and auto repair since 1953. They have 5 convenient locations to serve you. If you're in need of a new set of tires, maybe you just need an oil change, check them out at madlocktireservice.com. You can set up your own appointment and at your own convenience. Meanwhile, the radar is still quiet across the state. Couple of showers north of Cape Girardeau, south of St. Louis. A little strip of green there. Some showers trying to move across Missouri. And there's still some river flooding going on still in parts of Arkansas and down toward Louisiana. Meanwhile, there's still some snow. I can see it. It's up there in Maine and maybe over toward Quebec. Areas across parts of Canada, but not affecting us. As a whole, it's pretty much quiet down here in the south and east. And there's more rain across parts of Southern California, all associated with an El Nino storm, I would call it, because they've been getting a lot of rain coming in from the Pacific. Tracking the clouds, you can see they've been increasing, and they'll stay with us for much of tonight and perhaps early tomorrow morning. And then the sun's back out. So essentially, it's another mostly sunny day tomorrow. Today, we had ample sunshine to start, and then the high clouds came in the second half of the day. It may be just reverse. Just the opposite tomorrow. While the high clouds exit, we'll see more sunshine finishing the day. High temperature today hit 1 degree higher than I thought. I thought we'd hit 54. We hit 55 at 3:58 p.m., according to the records at McGee-Tyson Airport, but it was cold this morning. 28 was our starting point, and that was at 8:04. At least that's the last time they detected a 28-degree reading was at 8:04 this morning. Record high 73 from 1988 and 6 for the record low of 1872. So high at 56 today in Oak Ridge, Maryville, 55 in Newport, but they hit 54 today in Morristown, as well as Jonesville, as well as Crossville, hitting 54 for this afternoon high. Look around the state and essentially part of the southeast of the U.S. It was 60, Greenville, South Carolina, and it was 63 in Atlanta. So there is still some warm air to be had, especially southeast and southwest, because they got to 63 in Tupelo today. Now, tomorrow is Groundhog Day. It's a very important day for forecasters like me because we could take a break, right? We don't have to work. We'll just let the little rodent come out of his burrow and make the decision for us that, well, whatever he says, that's what we get. Well, did you know that most of the time, he sees his shadow? It's kind of like a thing. Maybe it's a marketing thing, but it is a thing. It's a folklore thing. And if he sees his shadow, that typically means 6 more weeks of winter. And if he does see his shadow, we'll be keeping an eye on that. Maybe that means we can extend the winter season. Now, tomorrow, mostly sunny skies for Friday, sunshiny skies Saturday, and more high clouds on Sunday. We got a southern slider that may just graze areas around Chattanooga, point south. So I've taken the chance of rain out. It is trending further south, but keep in mind, tomorrow is the halfway point of winter. That's why they do this thing called Groundhog Day. It happens on the 2nd of February for a reason. It's halfway. So you would never, I don't think you would ever judge a football game at halftime. Now, some of you are going to say, oh, winter's done. I don't see it in the 7-day. La, 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 winter's done. That's not a smart move to make, because that means weather's only going to surprise you that much more when it gets cold and snowy again. And I think it will. I have been consistent on that theme. It will turn cold and snowy. If you don't have snow flying around the air between, say, Valentine's Day and President's Day, well, then you could say, Aldrich busted. He busted. But I don't think that's the case. I think you'll have some snow showers, maybe a snowstorm between Valentine's Day and maybe President's Day, which is the 19th. There's still a lot of Arctic air that still has to work its way down, and that's why I think this little respite that we're in right now, this little break, can be considered intermission. Intermission before the main course may come down to haunt you if you're not a fan of cold and snow. Temperatures right now look like spring-like to me, doesn't it? St. Louis, 57 at 8 o'clock at night, Eastern time. 65 in Dallas at 8 o'clock Eastern. That's like pretty spring-like to me. I don't know where you're getting this cold air, Aldrich, but let me show you, because you have to ask yourself, who is hungry for more snow? Some of you have your hands raised. I can see it right now in my mind's eye. A few hands have gone up and said, I would love to get some extra snow, but I'm not sure when that'll be. I think after Valentine's and certainly into and around, say, President's Day, we'll have ample opportunity. And that's because the cold Arctic air will eventually come down in chunks, and the cold Arctic air that has been kind of retreating will make another pass and give us some interesting weather in our future. Now, if you need some evidence, the models are slowly catching on to this. By the 2nd, you can see it very cold in New England, very cold in the mid-Atlantic, and then there's that little southern slider that moves further south. It's the one around Memphis. You can see it from the arrows and between Dallas and Memphis. That's the southern system that's going to move us further south toward Florida, say between Atlanta and Jacksonville there. But it doesn't really affect us, except maybe just reinforce some sunshine on Monday. Monday's got more sunshine. Tuesday has more sunshine, and Wednesday it will follow. But the cold air in blue is cold enough at 5,000 feet to produce some snow if that were to occur. But then it looks like it gets warmer between the 8th and 9th. What's going on? It's like an inflection point. By that point, I think most people are going to be like, well, winter's done. But then all of a sudden, like on a dime, the weather's going to change. And look at the date. What's the 11th? Shazam. Right there. Oh, we got snow showers. Where did that come from? Oh, that's kind of, oh, it's getting really cold too. Hey, it's the 13th. Hey, it's almost Valentine's Day. It's time to hug your honey. It's time to cuddle your cutie. It's time to get near a fireplace. It's really cold. And the purple areas represent single-digit wind chills and highs in the teens and 20s. Oh, that's not coming here, though, is it? You tell me. Looks like it's coming down to me. There's the 17th. That's 2 days before President's Day, and there will be more opportunities for snow and cold, and the heat pump may be put on to emergency heat, which you have to do when it's around 15 degrees or colder, because if it's 5 degrees outside and you're trying to heat the home at 70 with the heat pump, it may have struggled to get to 65 inside the house. It's very hard to do that. So keep in mind, your heat pump may be put to the test once we get into the middle part of the month. That's really a good indication of what's still yet to come. So don't judge this winter by tomorrow's halftime report with Puxatawny Phil. Storm Prediction Center showing some yellow areas. Look at that. Scattered severe storms now have been elevated there in yellow in parts of South Texas. I'm talking about areas west of Houston, primarily San Antonio and near Austin, where they may get some isolated severe storms in green and scattered severe storms in yellow. That's not going to affect us here. That's essentially the southern slider. That's bringing severe weather to Houston again on Saturday, isolated as it may be, and may stretch into far southeastern sections of Louisiana. Some of the parishes down there may be dealing with some isolated severe storms on Saturday, but nothing going on here that would be noteworthy. Meanwhile, that little strip of green we saw a moment ago, it lines up pretty well. We like to say that initialized very well. Yes, it did. The model has seen what's south of St. Louis, a little strip of green, and it's all associated with a very, very weak front. So this front's only going to change our wind direction tomorrow. It'll be like southwest to start, and then it's like northeast. How does it go from southwest to northeast? There's a front coming through. And that front's going to maybe change our wind direction, but it will allow some of those high clouds to vacate the premises. So we may start with some hazy sun, and then it just gets a lot brighter for the second half of the day. Because midday, that front's down toward Chattanooga and maybe south of Etowah and moving away. And opens the door for more sunshine on Saturday, where hardly a cloud will be found on Saturday itself. Now, the little southern slider will produce some rain, as I mentioned, mainly to the south. Look how it moves in. That's Saturday night. That's Sunday morning. Oh, it looks like it's coming. Looks like it's going to move toward. It's beginning to pivot. Pivot. It's pivoting. Look around Atlanta, Huntsville, Jackson, Tennessee. And then maybe, oh, see, it's so close. It's so close. It's technically doesn't appear like it's in our viewing area. It's in Chattanooga. Most of the models have it south into Georgia. So I think the trend is to take this low closer to Florida, so it's not even an issue. And it may be producing a few flakes near Bryson City, but I think it just falls short. And as I've always said, at some point, precipitation has to end. So it might as well end here, right? I mean, it may be coming down in buckets in yellow right along the Georgia-Tennessee line, but it doesn't make it here. And that's the key. So that's why I have removed it from our chance in the 7-day forecast. So for tonight, 35 the low, more high clouds. It's chilly. I mean, it's 35. It's chilly. But it's not as cold as 28, because that's where we were this morning. Winds tonight, southwest 3 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, 36 in Oneida, 33 Morristown. These are my expected lows by tomorrow morning. 36, Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and 37 for Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County. Friday, 59. That's a big improvement over today, because today was 55. We'll be near 60, and some of you may actually hit 60. I know it's strange. You'll say, oh, spring is here. It's done. That weatherman was full of baloney. Well, just maybe judge that by the end of February. Tell me at the end of February that I was full of baloney. Mostly sunny, turning milder. Winds change southwest to northeast. And then you can see there could be a 62 in Athens tomorrow, a 61 in Tellico Plains, because the front's coming down. It won't be as warm in Middlesboro. They should be around 53 for a high temperature on Friday, 56 Morristown. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. 57 on Saturday, pleasant. Sunglasses a must. Sunday, 56, more high clouds. And if you happen to be traveling on Sunday, like to Chattanooga or Atlanta, Where did all this rain come from? Yeah, it's going to rain in Atlanta. I just don't see rain issue here, so that's why I removed it from the precipitation opportunities for us in the 7-day. 59 on Monday, 57 on Tuesday, and 59 on Wednesday. And I think we have a good shot to get in the low 60s on Thursday. But then that's kind of like, once we get to Thursday the 8th and Friday the 9th, that's the inflection point. That's when I think everybody's going to be lulled into a deep trance. Oh, spring's here. I'm going to have to start mowing my lawn. That kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, oh man, I mean, there's snow in the forecast, so don't let weather surprise you. Gomer Pyle used to say, surprise, surprise, surprise. Don't be Gomer Pyle this winter, because it's going to surprise some of you. And some of you will be very mad that something started to bloom if we're in the low 60s for a while. I don't know, maybe the allergies come back, tree pollen. Anything's possible. But if you want to keep track of all this, just keep track of it on the Captain Accurate weather app with Pete Michaels Traffic. It's easy to download. Go to the App Store, Google Play, and search the 2 words Captain Accurate. It also works brilliantly on your iPad. Very handy on the iPad as well. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.